Ping, pingly, ping, boom.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Brothers Play. So this is my sort of review with gameplay footage attached of the Battlefield 1 Beta, which came out 2 days ago. Overall, I would say the game is quite good, but let's just get into the nitty-gritty details and have a chat about what we have. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the maps. You play over two maps. One's called the Sinai Desert, and the other one I just can't remember at all. Both of them are like sort of in the Middle East. There's two different game modes. Obviously, there's Rush and there's Conquest. So Rush, Rush. Like there's some differences between the two modes. From the Battlefield 4 counterparts. So Rush is, the protecting of these two sort of stations, and then you sort of fall back further and further. But the way they set up the aesthetic is so that is set up such that when you lose 2 points, the map immediately shows you where you're falling back to, so you sort of end up phasing yourself backwards down the map, which is kind of cool. Conquest is still pretty much the same. They've changed a lot of the display so that you can actually tell when the point is being contested, which I think is kind of cool. Another thing about the maps is the Sinai Desert, for one, because of the desert climate, they've actually taken that into consideration, so you get dust storms and sandstorms and things like that that really sort of screw with visibility. So for example, I found in one of the maps as a sniper, I just couldn't get anything done because I just couldn't see anything out at range. So I wound up having to use an SMG and just walking around in the fog and shooting at anything that didn't look friendly, which in itself is kind of cool. I thought that was something that you don't see very often. Like Battlefield 4 did a thing where if you blow up the dam, like at Nankang Dam or something like that, Lankang Dam, sorry, it actually floods quite badly, so you wind up taking the fight up onto the rooftops instead, which was quite cool. But this, I think, is a different thing entirely. The sandstorms were an actual thing that like the guys fighting in that theater in World War II had to deal with, World War I, sorry, had to deal with. So that was kind of cool. The maps overall, I would say, are really nice. The Conquest map in itself is set up really well so that you can get an even mix of close quarters to long range sort of sniping, which I really got to take advantage of. Now we'll talk about the classes. So there's a number of different classes. I'm pretty sure there's support. So there's assault, support, sniping, and I think there's a demolitions class. So each of them have their own sort of different behaviors. The assault class, now because it's World War I, the assault class doesn't actually have an assault rifle per se. It doesn't have any sort of. That's a really cool thing as well. In Battlefield 1, because of the time period, it doesn't actually have any sort of long-range assault rifle, so it's not like you could get an AK and sort of put someone down at a couple hundred meters away. You actually have to be decently up close in order to make any sort of contribution, any sort of damage at all. So that was really quite cool. So in the assault class, you start out as with an SMG. Pretty sure you have a medic pack as well. Let me see here. Yep, so assault guys can take out vehicles, medics are able to heal infantry, as well as repair vehicles. Support, still the same thing, supplying ammunition, whereas scouts use a lot of sort of reconnaissance. Now, I'm pretty sure the assault class is the assault and medic class have switched places. There wasn't originally a medic class, there was just an assault class in Battlefield 4 that doubled as a medic as well, whereas the assault class now is more like the engineer class. They can actually blow up vehicles. They have this really great sort of grenade cluster thing that they can throw to take out a tank or something like that. Tanks are also different. You get land ships, which are manned by a couple of people, and then you have like singular motorized artillery vehicles that can sort of ride around and shoot people. So that isn't really like an M1 Abrams sort of tank where you can have like 2 or 3 people riding around in it, which kind of changes gameplay, I guess. I wasn't really a big vehicle player during the game, so that's kind of cool. The medic's weapon setup, the assault weapon setup. So the assault weapon setup is an SMG, so you use sort of a pistol caliber weird looking SMG. It's got a sideways mag, kind of like a Sten gun, and has a drum mag attached to the back as well. It's like an MP something or the other. It's like a Bergman SMG. And that was kind of cool playing as the assault guy, because after so long of playing in Battlefield 4, you wind up sort of squeezing off like 3-round, 4-round bursts, or even 8-round bursts at range, just trying to pepper your target down. But because it's an SMG, you wind up using it a lot more in close quarters, so for long range stuff, just forget about it. Or you could wind up just sitting there firing round after round, like 1 round at a time, to try and put your target away. The medic stuff is kind of cool. Instead of putting down a box, you sort of throw out pouches, although I have actually seen other medics put down pouches, but you start with throwing pouches, and you put down a box later on, I think, when you upgrade. The assault class is probably the most sort of egalitarian of those. You don't really do anything in the assault class. Like, I don't think you do anything really to help anyone else. You sort of try to take out the tank and you run around killing people. That's why I do the assault class. The next class up from that is support. So support carries a really clunky machine gun. Not clunky, well, yeah, it is a bit clunky. Remember, it is World War I, so the machine guns are still only just starting to come around. You can supply ammo again by throwing pouches of like bullets to people to help them out. It's really quite cool because you can actually look at the person, throw the pouch at them, kind of like a grenade, and they catch it, or they use it as ammo, and you get experience from that. And then this the sniping class, which I played the most of. You use a Lee-Enfield sniper rifle with sort of a cup grip on the bottom that allows you to sort of steady the rifle, which I've never seen before. It's an odd sort of invention in the game. That I was looking to get a tripod, but I didn't wind up getting around to it because the whole rig was steady enough, and you got to be really nice and mobile, which is kind of cool. I personally actually really played a lot of time as the sniper class. If you look at the gameplay, there's only a bit of time with me playing as the assault guy. You know, just because the sniper was the class that I really started to dial into. The rifle behaves really well, just kind of like how you'd expect it. I finally figured out, and this might sound really stupid, but I finally figured out that if you adjust the range to the target, the zeroing range on your rifle actually makes a huge difference to whether or not you hit your target. I found myself shooting at targets that were like 300 meters away. You might see it in one of these gameplay video bits, but if you increase, like I was shooting a target about 300 meters away, and I put the zeroing distance up to about 300 meters, and I was actually able to clean the guy out, no problem at all. They've changed the HUD as well, so things are a bit more simple. It reminds me a little bit of Overwatch in that you can actually see what sort of things you have available to you. One of the cool bits that was included as well is a gas mask. Everyone has gas masks because you can actually get gas grenades thrown at you, and they will, you know, gas out the whole house and kill you if you're not careful, or gas out the entire area. So you sort of gas mask up. The only problem with that is that it is extremely hard for you to see anything in the gas mask, and you also can't really, I don't know if you can level your weapon properly, but I couldn't aim down the sights with my sniper rifle because I had a gas mask on, which was kind of cool. Like the realism is really great. Another game changer was bayonets. So pretty much every weapon, pretty much every weapon except for a machine gun had a bayonet attached to it, which meant that you could actually bayonet charge. Now, bayonet charging was basically you sprint with your left stick, but then you click the right stick and your guy sort of starts screaming quite loudly, almost like someone's tearing off a toenail of his, and sprinting with the rifle like sort of pointed forward like a spear. This, like, how it affects gameplay, it's kind of cool in that, you know, when you're running, despite all the noise your character makes in first person, he doesn't actually make any noise. He doesn't make much noise in the grand scheme of things when he's running around the battlefield. I found myself a lot of times on the receiving end of getting just sort of bayoneted to death. So that's kind of cool as well. Especially, it's really good if you're sort of flanking people and you're out of ammunition. You need to get that guy killed really fast. You sort of rush in there with your bayonet and do the thing. Like, the bayonet is cool. There's no real sort of thrusting function you can find in the bayonet, but you can just sort of poke it at people. But that said, I didn't actually get a lot of time to play in Battlefield. Well, I didn't get a lot of time to play the beta. cavalry as well. So just as you can sort of spawn on motorcycles and quad bikes and things like that in Battlefield 4, you can actually spawn into a cavalry officer, which actually doesn't let you use, I don't know if it lets you use your kit anymore. Yeah, you don't get to use your weapons kit anymore, but you use an infantryman's carbine, which is like a lever action cowboy gun sort of deal, and a saber. You also have the option of riding people down, so you can just ride people and cut them down. Which might sound pretty powerful, but the cavalry carbine only has about like 10 rounds in it, so you can't really do much about it. However, like one of the things the sniper has to counter that is either you shoot the guy off the horse, or you kill both of them all together with what's called a K bullet, which I don't actually know what that is. So if any military historians out there could tell me, K bullet is actually, like the way it affects the game is the K bullet is just an extremely powerful bullet that you can sort of use to put down man and horse. You only carry 4 of those if you're a sniper, so that's kind of cool. Overall, I would say this game is quite good. Like the beta seems very promising, and there's a lot about it that I quite like, especially the whole old school going back into time thing. The weapons are simpler, and there's no like thermal imaging or anything like that, so it requires definitely a greater skill level to play the game and have fun. And so you just have to be more aware of the situation and what's going on around you. I found that if you didn't have any sort of situational awareness, any tactical awareness, you found yourself hearing that dreaded pinging noise as someone sort of shot you through the helmet and killed you. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's a different departure from Battlefield 4 in the sort of modern era context. Definitely really excited to hear about the single player as well. There should be more stuff on the single player, I think, coming soon. So far all I know is that you play as a member of the 369th Hellfighters division, or the Harlem Hellfighters. It's an infantry battalion from America. Anyway, that about wraps it up, I would say. So at the moment, I think games that were like Ryan and I are pretty excited for. Ryan can't be here at the moment because he's away doing uni things or whatever. Is the new Titanfall that's coming out. Mafia 3, which is coming out too soon as well. It looks really good. I managed to get some time in on Titanfall 2 as well. Quite exciting, which I will probably talk to you guys about in a little while. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. We'll roll out on me getting beaten really badly in this game. But thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been Jotham, minus Ryan, of the Brothers Play, with the Battlefield 1 beta. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.